Well, tomorrow is Rusty's last day at News 13, and all week we've been looking back at 14 years of stories. And Rusty, we haven't seen too much of your early years, and you guys aren't going to want to miss this.
It's really all about the hair, right? It's the hair. Yeah, well, that's what we've got for you this morning. We're going to look at stories now and from the time I lived and worked in the PD.
Live shots were my thing in 2003 when I moved from Lumberton to Florence.
He told me he just thought it'd be better for the county if both pieces of his land were on this side of the road.
My first big breaking story was the prison riot in Bishopville in November 2003.
2 prison guards were taken hostage, and they've both been released. Both are fine. 1 was injured.
Certainly covered a lot of crime, including the time Kathy Lawhon pulled a gun on a robber who brought a knife to her store.
I reached for the pistol and I asked him, I said, do you want it? Do you really, really want it?
He didn't, and her expectation was right on the money.
The knife, you know, just it didn't bother me half as bad because I know my bullet would travel faster than his knife would.
There was the time a gunman temporarily took over the square in Bennettsville.
He could see out his window the officers with guns drawn, and then the suspect with his gun drawn, and then he just fell to the ground, and he realized what had happened then. So, Nikki, very strange, very chaotic situation, and still a lot of unrest here in downtown Bennettsville.
Plenty of bad weather marched through the PD in the 4.5 years I lived there, and 2004 was especially bad. We also flirted with wintry weather, including a couple of ice storms.
We got kind of like this fine mist blowing, and it's freezing right here on my microphone flag.
We reported on the ultra-hot weather in these dog days of summer from just about everywhere we could, and we also covered the scourge of spring, pollen.
5 or 6 hours ago it was washed, and there's still pollen built up.
I covered the Thanksgiving buying rush at the Piggly Wiggly at 5 Points a couple of years.
Turkey or the ham, what's the biggest seller?
Thanksgiving turkey,
Okay.
Christmas hams.
Okay, well, what about the pig's feet? Well, then why is it with the turkey?
Why is it with turkey? Tradition.
Tradition to have the pig's feet with the turkey.
No. I didn't mean to say that.
But Florence and the PD were home for me. Actually, it was Quimby. One morning I woke up to go to work and saw a semi buried in the gas station. Turns out they were after the ATM, but it gave me a chance to interview Nick, a man I knew from being a part of the PD community, a community I will always hold dear. I lived in Quimby before the IGA relocated across the street. That'll date that for you. It was a 4-mile drive to the TV station. My rent was $350 a month.
Wow. So jealous.
4 years I lived there. Tonight we'll have some more of these memories and more. I'm going to be here with Bob and Nicole at 6 to share some of those stories.
I was kind of hoping you'd grow those sideburns back this week.
Even longer there.
No.
It's Elvis.
It's Elvis.
Not going to happen.
On Monday, Matt Gittins will take over for Rusty here on News 13 this morning.